Hi everyone, this is a case study on PremiumSoft over the need for human resources management, and this is presented by me, Noah Ferguson, and my teammates Allie, Thibault, and Haylee Mercado. So it was founded in 1999 by Mr. Ken Lin in Hong Kong. They have developed applications over the years for products and businesses such as Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. They're a software company. Ken Lin held the position of Director of Software Development and Human Resource Manager since the initial startup of the company. Their first initial product was called Nifadkar, a database administration software system that was used by 40% of Fortune 500 companies. These included over 150,000 registered customers across 7 continents and included educational institutions, governments, large multinationals, and many other customers. They initially used the waterfall model for project management in the first decade of development, but this linear method spent more time in early stages of development and was supposed to reduce costs at later stage, but proved to be inflexible. Thus, critics really struck it down, and no one could really know the final requirements of the product, so they switched in 2011 to a more agile project management. This allowed more daily customer feedback to be inputted in the product and allowed for more room for changes in testing and development in the initial stages. They use Google Docs to communicate and collaborate and share content. This was very easy. It made managing content and sharing content very easy, but clarification and task assignment were lacking. So PremiumSoft's co-founder and director, Ken Lin, really believes in maintaining a healthy, friendly work environment. This means flexible working hours, ensuring no overtime beyond 5 days, and actually working from the office. Mr. Ken believed in working from home because it led to faster communication and a better team bonding experience. So the total staff included 41 people in all. That was 28 developers, 3 user experience designers, 3 people in customer support, and a small marketing team. There's 3 levels within the company: supervisor, senior developer, and junior developers. Supervisors handle architecture and design, project management, and produce new project ideas along with Mr. Ken. And they also had a small part in assisting in the hiring process with Ken initially. So senior developers do similar tasks, but are more associated with the product design and development phases. They also gather market intelligence, analyze competitors and their product. They also investigate new technology and do some coding. So your junior developers are going to be where you see most of the coding and actual groundwork done. And now moving on to PremiumSoft's hiring process. So they really didn't have a great hiring process. They really just posted applications and ads through university job boards and expected word of mouth from younger graduates to get around. They expected their new hires to mention and recommend other new hires, and they really just looked for candidates who were graduating with a computer science degree and preferred those with a little bit higher grades. And these new hires were expected to have basic coding knowledge, but when they did come on with the company, there was no official training and no official onboarding.
So the central issue with this case is there does not seem to be any strategic management at PremiumSoft to align their expanding company. New hires are expected to learn on the job without proper training, which led employees to feeling unclear on how their individual growth plan actually aligned with the goals of the company. An HR manager should be hired to keep the company on track. It's important to solve these issues to drive their competitive advantage up. So an HR manager would help enhance the company with work design and workforce planning, So employees are already unsure of the importance of their tasks and what roles they play to the overall improvement of the company. They would also promote efficiency and motivate their employees to complete tasks, which would in turn lower the turnover rate for new hires. They would also help manage employee attitudes and behaviors because employees feel they are not receiving adequate compensation for the work they already do. They would also help manage employee competencies. It's the job of HR to make sure all employees are working efficiently and understand the product to the best of their abilities. PremiumSoft tends to hire people right out of college with an eager capacity to learn. Although they generate a qualified pool of potential clients, they lack on the learning and development side of the recruiting process. Once employees are hired, they are expected to teach themselves the skills and nature of the job. This job has unique language and formatting for their employees, so it's important to have the proper training so that employees are all on the same page. This will maximize efficiency when working with teams and help relate the work to the overall goals of the company. Their difficulties are due to an increased reliance on just a few people with sole knowledge of the product, and this is not ideal because employees felt lost when trying to understand their tasks. So they would receive this feedback and determine the right course of action as to who gets paid what based on what skill instead of the time spent with that company.
The best solution to make sure that all three areas of complications are resolved is to hire an HR manager to structure the company in terms of efficiency. This employee needs to understand the company's goals, what each task force needs to accomplish to succeed, and offer training to all employees so that everybody is on the same page. In terms of hiring for the position, Ken wanted somebody who was well-versed in the product. We believe by offering the promotion to somebody already in the company with salary compensation as a reward, this will drive up productivity for all employees willing to work harder. Their organizational culture is mostly a younger demographic. The new hire should also fit this dynamic so that they can grow and adapt to the company, which is aligning with Ken's overall vision. The HR personnel has a need for somebody who can structure the tasks and rewards to align with the company's overall goals in terms of work design and workforce planning. HR manager will have to define the company's goals in order to better structure the job design for each task. After the HR manager understands the company's long-term goals and objectives, it will be easier to understand the job design for each team. When that is determined, they can move to the main solution of this case, which is providing proper training for every employee. Whether it's somebody in a senior or junior position, we believe everyone should undergo annual training to make sure each employee is up to date on the new products and goals of the company. Our research shows that employees didn't really understand the product or how their tasks related to the overall objectives of the company. By providing training, employees will have an opportunity to stay on track and feel more accomplished by their work. The next and most important step of the solution is to provide proper recruitment processes. With a company that is continuously adding new products, it could be overwhelming and discouraging for employees to get tasks added that they weren't really trained for. This could lead to inefficiency when employees make a mistake or do not complete tasks how it should have been done first time around. Although hiring may be costly to the company, it will take the work away from somebody who is not as knowledgeable and give it to somebody who has more experience in that field. The tech agency is growing rapidly, and so is the pay. Although employees of PremiumSoft receive great work-life balance and other non-financial benefits, it is important that their monetary needs are also met. We decided that by adding different optional training programs for employees to advance their knowledge would be a great way to give employees an opportunity to learn and also increase their salaries. This can also keep employees well-versed in the technology industry while keeping their competitive advantage in mind. Training employees for future jobs shows that they have potential to move up in a company. This will boost employee morale and the overall efficiency of employees.